What's going on, everybody out there? My name is Lil Cesar. I'm from the Airforce Crew, also now even better known as one of the organizers of the Radiotron, producer of the Radiotron, who started the whole legacy once again in the early 90s and what it is today, you know.
Cool. Okay, Cez, can you just tell me the first time you heard about STN Breakers from the UK, and you know, when you saw footage of them or the stories you heard from wherever?
I think that when I heard about Second to None was in '92. I wasn't really breaking like in '88, '89. I started back into it. I mean, 89, 90, I started to get back into the game, and it was like not into like '92 when Hex had a shop. You know, it was called the Hip Hop Shop down in Melrose, out here in California, out here in Los Angeles, and I started seeing magazines. You know, people really. I started hearing about the Europeans. You know, and through the magazine, I started hearing names popping out. You know, like Who's Good in Japan. You know, at that era, which is. I mean, they had some really dope crews, and then he went down to Europe, and you know what I'm saying, and then he went down to England, and all of a sudden, all the other side of the continent was like really doing it. That, to me, that was a shock, because I like in LA, there wasn't really that much dancing. Like the scene had died for about a good 5 years, and that's when I started hearing names, and that's when the name Second to None came about. I think like somewhere around '92. And people just started talking about it, and I remember I seen this particular video. I don't know the name of the actually video, but I seen some footage of what what the English back then did, you know, and I was like, I was very shocked, the fact that wow, you know, I was so impressed to see a lot of the Europeans, you know, and the people from the UK as well, you know. It was like, damn. They're putting it down, man.
Yeah, you know, that's cool. They were putting it down.
They were really putting it down, and you know, at a different level too. You know, so to me, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, breaking in the UK. that was what I say. Well, I can't believe they're breaking in the UK. Man.
That's cool, because I mean, the crew started in '85, and they're still dancing now. You know, they're like mid-30s, they're 35, 36 years old, and they were going to Europe in 88, 89, 90, through till 92, you know, hardcore with Storm and Swift, Maurizio, all these cats. They won the first Battle of the Year, which was the International Breakdance Cup. Second to None won that. I just wanted you to get your thoughts and views on, would you class Second to None, I mean, I've talked to a lot of new school cats. Iron Monkey, for one, he said they were a big inspiration for him, and he sees them as pioneers. I would class you definitely as a B-boy pioneer, without a doubt. Would you look at Second to None in that kind of light as well, the dancing and what they've done?
Well, I feel like not just I mean in general, I think that everywhere you are, and you know, people made history. It didn't matter where you were. You know what I'm saying? You know, Second to None started in '85. You know what I'm saying? And they were known, and they actually proved, and they were out there and really, like, you know, bringing something to the table. Therefore, you know, in your city, in the UK, you know, going to either to Germany to go battle for Battle of the Year, no matter what, within that you know, era, I think Second to None, it is classified as, you know, as originals within the European continent. You know what I'm saying? We're in your continent. You know what I'm saying? Your guys are pioneers. They're pioneering and really inspiring all the new cats that are really looking up to you. You know what I'm saying? Back then, for me, I wasn't really looking up to you. We were trying to make moves. That's what we were learning here. I wasn't, like I just explained to you, I didn't even know they were breaking in the UK or in Japan or even Germany. So I think most definitely, to answer your question, is that Second to None, it is pioneered within your continent, and then from there it inspired even a lot of kids out here. You know what I'm saying? Because now that you're talking about going to Germany, now ring the bell later before me.
Right.
I don't know if it was a battle between Second to None in
Battle Squad.
In Battle Squad?
Yeah.
Okay, that was that battle. Okay, so then It was actually '93 when actually I was in Europe in '93. I was in Denmark when I actually heard about Second to None and also Battle Squad, and I seen video footage of it. I seen that battle.
Right.
And it was I remember that battle was a very dynamic battle, speed, you know, doing double halos. It was just like it was crazy, man. I was like, whoa, you know. I just remember that. It just hit me when you said that. I couldn't really remember what video it was.
Okay.
But now that you say it was the battle of the year, I remember actually even getting a copy and bringing it to the U.S. and showing some people out here that battle, because that battle, I believe, it inspired, you know, even the young kids out here, you know, that we inspire here as well.
Yeah.
So most definitely, man, I mean, I think the speed and the control, you know, the willingness and the angriness as a youngster, like really wanted to take the opponent out. I think that's what I really saw in that video, Second to None and Battle Squad. Yeah, and that's when I first saw, you know, Maurizio. I saw, you know, also Storm and Swift. You know, I seen some of these head spins and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, it's very. I was like, man, these cats are like, you know, they done their research, man. They play dudes, you know. So to me, I felt like you guys done a lot of work, man. Second to None has done a lot of work, and you know, inspire a lot of people within, you know, with the young continent, and now even that you talk to young cats, you know, and me bringing that tape over here as well, because like, you know, Willpower and myself were out there, and we came out here and we brought some footage from you guys to show some of the kids over here, you know.
Cool. And what was the reaction of the footage of Second to None when you showed it to cats over here?
Well, I think Second to None and was at a different level than all the kids here. You know, all this new generation was just like, they're barely starting at, you know, 6 months, a year. You know, and to them it was like, you guys were, you know, like, you know, you guys are like up there, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, putting it down. So I feel that a lot of cats out here, they recognize you as pioneers, you know. I said in their world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So it was the reaction when they saw the video was like, man, they're paying dues, man. These guys are dope. They're incredible. And you know, they're so incredible.
And on a personal note for you, when you saw their style of breaking, their style of footwork, their power moves, their top rock, what did you think? Is that your kind of style and flavor that you like, or did you look and say that's dope, but I break a different kind of way? I mean, how did you look at the way they break? Because everybody breaks kind of different, and now breaking has gone off on mad tangents, and some old school cats, new school cats even, are saying, no, I like that old school bread and butter type shit. I'm not too down with the handstand business and whatever. I just wanted to get your views on that.
Well, know? I think when I first actually saw it, my impression, just because I've been out of the scene and then going to Europe and then seeing such as, my first impression was like, wow, I'm happy. Like there's more people actually doing it. And when I saw it, I saw that you guys were actually at a very high level. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that you guys been breaking for a while. Like it just didn't happen from, you know, overnight. Because why? I practiced and I trained, you know, 7 or 8 hours a day back in the days, and that was that was when I was, you know.
And that's what you break all day long. But
and really, for me, it was one of the impressions was that I was just happy that if somebody else was doing it, and the Europeans were doing it, and the UK was doing it, and the other one was that I love the speed. With me, it's always been the speed, the dynamic of the speed. If you're able to actually generate such a speed in a very short time, or actually carry your weight within your speed, with the control and the dynamic, that is what I get inspired for. I really feel like I'm flying and like I have all this power, like, you know what I'm saying, like just crazy power that you generate. So when I saw that, I feel like I saw myself in you guys that have taken it, you know,
to another level.
It was a transition of taking it to another level. Because when I stopped, I left within the transition where you guys were back in the days for us.
Sure.
So for me, it was like, it was the transition of it, and I felt that the speed was there, the control was there, you know, the power moves and the air moves was there, and I saw, wow, these guys are, man, I said, these guys, they're dangerous, you know? That's what I said to myself, like, and in the style, I can compare it to the West Coast style, you know?
Yeah.
I say, wow, this, you know, I can compare it to the West Coast style. So that was, for me, that is the dynamic, and that's what I prefer. You know, not meaning that I dislike full work, and not meaning that I dislike all the other stuff. It's just that I love to fly. I love that power. I love that feeling, you know, of just able to do power moves and really go all out without retaining everything. It's like your whole integrity goes with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And within power moves, a lot of people don't really understand that. Like they can't really feel it, and they never will. Why? Because they never done it, and the only way you can do that is by actually you doing it and feeling it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you do footwork, you know, you have to listen to all that music as well. You have to like really feel it to actually say, damn, you know, and really feel that. With power moves, it's the same way. You know, so I saw the dynamics that you. Second to None was doing back then. It was a very I would consider it like it was like Battle of the Year. I mean, that's what it exactly is.
Yep.
It's like Battle of the Year. I mean, Second to None and Battle Squad. It was like the top. It was the two top crews going at it, man, and people were just going wow, man, like just realizing like that's Second to None. That's Battle of the, you know, doing it a Battle of the Year.
For sure.
That whole circle inspired thousands of kids, you know.
Yeah,
it inspired me in a way of like more like inspired you guys. Second to None inspired me more in the that is the way it's gotta be done, you know.
Right.
Oh, okay,
that's how you break.
And it got me inspired to come back and practice again.
Right.
You know, I had to come back and practice.
When did you give up, and when did you start breaking again? If there was a 5-year period, what was
80? I stopped in 85, the end of 85.
Wow.
When Radiotron was shut down and demolished out here in California. That's when like we all turned to the streets, and that's when all the drugs, that's where all the killing,
and
all
the gangs,
drive-bys, all the gangs. We all became gangsters. You know, every crew that was here in Los Angeles became gangsters. Wow. And how many crews do we had in Los Angeles? Over 5,000 crews. So you can just imagine the killing that went on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so from 85 to like 89. That's what I was doing. All, you know, I was involved in all that, and 89 was the last time I was busted, and so there's nothing really good for me here. You know, I got to move on and do other things, and that's when, you know, Chuco and, you know, all these other kids were started breaking, and he got me back into the scene again. And you know, Twirly Delight was another kid that he saw me break, and he took me to Soul Train. You know, he said, Cesar, you know, you got some talent, and you know, you gotta come back. You know.
Wow.
But my big surprise was that I didn't know that in Europe, and I didn't know that in Japan, I didn't know that in Australia had footage of us, of Oracle and myself and the rest of the Airforce Crew. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't know we inspired.
You did.
A lot of people.
Definitely, man. I mean, I started breaking late 82, early 83. And so the big thing for me growing up was breaking and Beat Street, those movies, you know, and the Radiotron. And speaking on behalf of Second to None, they just looked at the Radiotron, man. I mean, they had mad love for New York City Breakers. On a New York tip, it was New York City Breakers. On an LA tip, Radiotron. They just looked at that shit and they were just like, look at that club. It's raw, it's energy, it's power, it's speed. It was everything that their dancing is, you know, was and is. And they looked at you as definitely, they looked to Cesar and go, wow, man, that's the kid he's got mad skills. You know, they definitely looked up to you. You were, as they influenced you, you influenced them, for sure. And with the gang problem, you know, you stopped dancing 85 to 89. Like, so many people stopped dancing, they carried on, and they hooked up with Rapid Fire in Australia, and those guys had footage of you and Orko, Ozrock, you know, all these animation, everybody, and they were watching that, and they're like, wow, look at what these guys are doing, man. And so they just kept dancing on their own, and then they went to Europe for the first time.
What year was that?
This is like, I think when the Rapid Fire sent them the footage to Tony of Second to None. No, I think that was 89. I think 89 is the first year they went to Europe and hooked up with Storm and everybody and Maurizio. And because STN everyone had stopped dancing in the UK, you know, there was couple of other people, but really the only crew it was them. And so they developed a very original style and moves that they were just like, well, we're just making up our own thing. We haven't got anyone else to look at. They went to Europe, hooked up with everyone over there, and the Europeans were like, especially the Germans, like, damn, who the hell are these guys? And their continuous head spins. Tony, you know, they call him the pencil because when he does his drills, he looks like a pencil. And so Storm in an interview on the internet actually said the guy who taught me to do head spins was Tony from Second to None. And so, especially in Europe, they look at them as big time pioneers. Like you said, in their continent, in their neighborhood, they are pioneers. And just so through the years when, you know, you went to the dark side and the streets had you, they were doing their thing, but you survived, and through hip-hop and breaking and everything, through the whole culture, you guys came together without actually meeting, you know, and managed to inspire and stay alive, you know what I mean?
Wow, so this is actually the second story that I hear something like that.
Okay.
You know, and it's really cool how the Germans, you know, got the videos, you know, and Tony holding down the video.
Yep.
Tony getting the videos from you know, from Australia, you know,
yep.
from the kids out there, you know, from
Rapid Fire,
which are called Rapid Fire now,
yeah,
you know, with the twins, you know what I'm saying?
The twins, man. Yeah.
And it's so amazing how just everything traveled and it came to be what it is to be now.
Yeah.
Storm being inspired by Tony, and Tony being inspired by the Australians,
yep.
and us inspiring the Australians. You know, it's kind of like everything goes back into a circle. And then yep. I see Second to None, and also, you know, Battle Squad. It all came back to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I got inspired back from you guys.
Yep.
It led me to come back home and really practice again. You know
For sure.
So it's just the way we've seen everything now, the way the whole aura goes around in a circle. Yep. You know, it just travels like in a circle. So I'm here now again, you know, and
you are, man.
Still in the movement, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I tell you, I think most definitely, man, it's right in my mind now. I totally remember the moment that I was in Denmark, you know, with Steen, you know, and I said, wow, I want to get a copy of that battle.
Yep.
I want to get a copy of that battle with Second to None in battle, you know, in Battle Squad.
Yeah, because
battling a battle of the year, you know.
That was crazy.
That was 93 or 92.
I think that battle was 92. It was Storm and Swift versus Second to None, and Maurizio is part of Second to None, so he was banned as well. Tough Tim was in that battle. So it was two guys, two Germans versus an army.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and that's what I said. I was like, then two guys are taking, you know, I was like, they're two against all these cats.
Yeah.
And Second to None was holding it up, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's 92, and if you came back in the game 89 time, you know, for you seeing that must have freaked you out, because that was a hardcore, that must have reminded you of the old school days.
Yeah, that was like a hardcore battle, like, you're going into the pit, you know? And, you know, you don't go into the pit just like that, you know, it was like battle mode.
Yeah.
It was some battle mode.
There was no friends in that circle.
Yeah, no. And that's the way I remember the way, you know, we usually battle, you know. It's like,
cool.
So the energy was right there, man. I think Second to None have made a big impact, you know, in the whole hip hop community, you know, old, you know, new, you know what I'm saying? And I think hopefully this video will actually, you know, get out there to really tell the people around the world who Second to None is.
Yeah.
And you know, and really to just lay down the history, what you guys have done, you know, out there in the UK, and what you guys did in your neighborhood as well too. You know what I'm saying? It will be so inspiring to really know, you know, what you're thinking. We want to get inside your head now. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear your side of the story. You know, and what Second to None really is all about, and what they did, and what they're going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully everybody else will get the story, you know, the story, how the story went. Yep. And hopefully through this video, people will be able to see it, you know, throughout the world, man. And if you're watching this, you know, it's you can't, you know, it's just history in the making, you know, that was made, you know, back in 92, back in 82, you know, and, you know, now 2003 here, you know, in the U.S. and everything repeats itself, man. And you know, I just wanna now that I get the chance to to be with Second to None over here, I just want to thank you guys for actually inspiring me by me watching that battle to give me some fire, and came back over here in the US and said, wow, I got to do something about it. You know, when I came out here, this is why I came back and I said I need to do an event, and that's how Radiotron came back again.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was inspired by going to Switzerland. I was inspired when I went to Denmark, and seeing that battle with you guys, you know, it was like, wow, man, I gotta go home
That's cool.
and really lay down some history. And now you see Radiotron again. That's how, like I said, the whole energy came back to me.
And like what you said earlier in the graffiti about everyone knows about the East Coast, about New York, and that's all cool. But you know what's always intrigued me, and I'm sure second to none, is LA, the West Coast, San Francisco, you know, Diego. What's their side of the story? You know, or hip hop was born in the Bronx, but well, the West Coast was there too, man.
Well, too. I mean, everybody knows the side, you know, the side of the East Coast story, you know, which is cool. I mean, we all need to learn that because it's history, and we have to learn it no matter what, you know, to understand who we are, you know, and what you want to do and what you want to be and why you're doing it, and it just makes you strong. But out here in the West Coast, I mean, we put it down. I mean, everything that you see here now in the West Coast, we made it all into our own way, a whole different style, and we really drilled in it. You know, we really hit anything. When you hear the music, you know, when you hear like locking, I mean, put it this way, bro. I mean, locking with Don Campbell, you know, started back in the '60s. You know what I'm saying? It is the oldest dance.
Yeah.
If you wanna say the oldest dance in hip hop, because I feel that hip hop is 7 components, you know what I'm saying, and where those 7 components were actually everywhere, they were there at all the time, you know what I'm saying. It was not just one component, it was all the components together all the time, especially in Radiotron. So you know, locking is the oldest, man. So you can actually say, well, so if locking is the oldest dance in hip hop, then where does hip hop starting? You know, it gives that big question mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and then you have popping. You know, popping's from the West Coast as well. You know, those are the two strong elements that people have forgotten. You know, and there's so many original people out here in California that really people don't really know who they are and what they've done. Yep. You know, but so much history that is the unknown. You know, and then us Airforce Crew, you know what I'm saying, bringing the whole flavor of you know the power moves and the air moves, and taking the simplicity of what came from the East Coast, and us putting something on top of it, bringing something to the table that led us to actually explore on the aerodynamic, on the you know, on the flying zone, you know what I'm saying? Where we were just able to say, like, we were just kids. We wanted to fly, man. We wanted to just not just do footwork. We wanted to take footwork and just put it up in the air, you know, and go repetitions, you know. And we develop it more in the repetition. We develop more in the you know, the most coasts, you know, the most windmills, you know what I'm saying. And from training that hard and doing that, we put all the components together, and that's how you get all the combinations, all the dopest combinations that you see nowadays. I mean, a lot of us, we did so many dope combinations and really hardcore tricks, you know, that's what we brought to the table, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And really with such a magnificent force behind it, you know, and in such an anger way, like just putting it in our dance and just releasing, you know, all our energy, you know, that's we explore there, because we wanted to be different, and we wanted to make a difference within everybody else, for us to stand and make a point, like, this is who we are. You know, that's where the name Air Force come from, because we all wanted to fly, man, and we were just the young kids that we wanted to do head spins, all the styles of head spins, you know. We wanted to do elbow spins, we wanted to do double halos to flares, we wanted to do like the hardest combinations that you thought impossible to be, you know. So, and we had that mentality. We made them possible for the world to see, and that's why we got so much credit. Oracle, you know, myself, Kid Tough, Bernie, Airmaster. I mean, you're talking about Little Lewis, Casper, you know, and also Steve, Bobby, you know, and brought so much to the table, man. And we were just, Oracle, myself, we were the ones that really highlight a lot of it. But all these cats too, man. You know, they were there right next to it. You know, maybe not doing the moves, but actually behind, like, okay, you gotta try this, you gotta try that. No, try this, Cesar. No, Oracle, try this. You know, and Oracle put a lot of foundation here in the West Coast. You know, he's an amazing individual legend that put it really down for the West Coast. You know, and people didn't know, you know, and now I think that people got a sense of what power moves and who elevated air moves, you know, to that level, you know what I'm saying, and the repetition. So, you know, a lot of the cats out on the East Coast, they don't comprehend when they do, why are they doing so many times, you know. It's not that way. I mean, it's our way, whether you like it or don't. It's our way, you know what I'm saying. And we love your stuff, but you know what I'm saying. All we're saying is like, this is what we're doing, whether you like it or not. Then it's really, you're the one having that problem, not us. You know, and for us, it was just we developed that, man, and things are the way they are now. I accept the way they dance. I love it, you know, because I think that it's dope.
It is, but you just want to get your props for the way you guys dance.
I mean, not just Airforce Crew. I mean, you have Pony Express, you have the Rockin' Wizards out here in the West Coast. You know, you have the LA Breakers. You know, like a lot of people didn't really know the key pointers. You know, those people like Baby Huey back then. You know, I mean, Shake City Rockers, who were one of the, you know, the originals out here as well. You know. I mean, we brought our own style. We did what we had to do, and history speaks for itself, man. You know, I mean, we had everything, and so I think that, you know, around the world, people got a sense of who we are. You know, we haven't had actually a big side of the punch on the media worldwide, where we actually are saying we did this. You know, you know, in a whole different, you know, like media, tremendous media. I'm talking video. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't had our chance within, probably in that sense. You know, like the cats from, you know, like Rocksteady. You know, like New York City Breakers. You know, I mean, you know, but we had a few chances, but not. Well, actually, last year we did, because we even performed for your queen. You know?
I know. Yeah, that's amazing.
Perform at the Buckingham
Can you believe
Palace.
that? B-Boys at Buckingham Palace. Would you in '84 when Breaking came out? Would you have thought, you know, in 2002 I'm going to be with the Queen in London? That's from El Salvador, from when you left that country and came here, C's. You would never have imagined, man.
I would never imagine I would be in the U.S. Period.
Oh, shit.
So for me, being at the Buckingham Palace, it was a big breakthrough in my life, in my career as a dancer. But not only as that, but actually breaking the barriers for hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, hip hop being at the Buckingham Palace and being recognized as like, wow, this guy's got talent.
Yeah.
Right next to Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
You know, Elton John. You know, like all these cats, man. Like,
wow.
I'm over here with the Royals, man. Not outside, inside the palace. You know, and fireworks. Everything was just like a perfect. You know, story. You know, it's like when the queen marries the king. You know, it was like something like that. You know, like so for me, it was like, wow, it's so inspiring. My career was a big breakthrough in hip hop for me as well. I broke down. I was just so inspired, man. And
it's a shame you didn't hook up with Second to None while you were in the country.
Yeah, well, yeah,
you know?
Man. You know, I lived in the UK for about a good 4.5 months.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that?
This was last year. I was
shit.
2002. I did
you were doing Bounce?
I was with a production called Bounce.
Yeah.
And actually, we hit media very. That's what I was trying to get the point that.
Right.
About New York City Breakers. They were up there, not realizing that actually I'm up there too with them. You know, within that same. But we hit actually massive media. I mean, we hit media in Scotland. We hit media in. I mean, massive media in Holland and Switzerland, and also in
Germany.
The UK, in Germany. We hit massive media. I was able to talk to worldwide BBC, you know, being the biggest news. So, and I felt like there. I felt like, wow, like I felt like an artist. I felt like as a human being being respected at what we do best, which is breaking and representing the elements of hip hop culture, and the fact that they were actually recognizing it as being such an impact in the culture, you know. it was such a dope thing for me, man. I mean, newspapers, I mean, TV, I mean, like all this stuff, man. It was just like, it was so amazing.
The blood, sweat, and tears paid off.
The sweat and tears paid off, man. You know, it did, man.
That's cool.
I couldn't done this without my mother, you know, the gods, and all my integrity, dedication, you know, my sweat, just believing in what I do, man. This is what I love best.
That's it. You just said it. That's what you love. Yeah. And I just wanted to go back to a point you made about how people might have looked at you and Air Force as a big power move crew, because that's a lot of people looked at Second to None as they got nice footwork, they got some crazy footwork, but they're power, they're all out power, and a lot of cats was like, nah, it's boring, the continuous halo, the continuous windmill, flares, pumps, but you yourself, Air Force, Second to None, I think these guys, they are pioneers of the power move, definitely. From Orco to Second to None, I just wanted to get your points on the whole power move thing.
Yeah, and thank you for that. And I once again, I feel that a lot of the people that are really saying that, oh, the repetition, the power, it's really, I mean, I feel like when you don't like something, you're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna talk about it either negative or positive. You're gonna talk about it the way. Most likely, you're gonna talk about it in a negative way. Why? Because you can't do it, and maybe someone else might influence you in the wrong way. The power is this and power is that. But power is the dynamic of breaking. You cannot, if you don't understand the dynamic of breaking, if you haven't even tried, you can't even do it. Like I said once again, you are not able to understand it. If you don't understand it, you're gonna talk about it. So you would have to try it. You would have to do it and really feel it. Because there's a whole different feel. It's just a whole different aura, a whole different feeling. Than just being in the ground and doing footwork. There's two different. It's like an apple and a pear, an apple and an orange. They're two different, and they're both dope. And they're both good, but one cannot accept the other, and that's what the problem is. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And within our community. But I feel that nowadays things have changed. I think people are starting to recognize in it. And I feel that people out there shouldn't be like, oh, you're all about style. Oh, style, power moves. Like I hear a lot of people say, well, like power moves is not style. Wait a minute. Power move, it is a style, and it is a powerful style.
Yep.
You have all the footwork. That is a style whatsoever. So people have the misunderstood word that the power moves is not style. No,
that's not true.
Is a dynamic, powerful style. Footwork, it is a dynamical style of footwork. The new styles coming in, the whole intricate, the whole, contortionist. It is a whole different style that is now being developed. That hasn't developed yet. It's in this process. But when it gets developed, people are gonna be like, damn.
That's cool.
People are still doing it. They'll be like,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Like, so everything has its own style within. So don't believe the hype, man. Don't say that power moves is not a style or don't have any style. Like, no, wait a minute. Power moves, it is a dynamic, powerful style.
For real.
And then that's it. And you cannot comprehend it, and you will never comprehend it if you will never try it or never do it and go really into it and get that feeling that it's just like when you listen to the music, like they say, you gotta listen to the music. It's really like it's there, That's how power moves, and you have to explore into that. And I think a lot of the kids, either they don't know how to explain it or they don't have the knowledge for it. But that's why everybody want to fly.
That's it. It's all about flying.
Everybody want to do power moves. You cannot stop breaking. Even if you want to stop, you cannot stop technology. You know what I'm saying? Technology. If you stop technology, or if you, man, you must be some type of Einstein. But technology can be stopped. If you want to stop yourself, technology must move on. So breaking is like that.
Yeah.
Breaking must move on. You're the one who's gonna stop, not technology, not breaking. Breaking continues. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's the other way is favoritism. Do I like footwork? Do I like power? How about putting all that together, man?
Put it all together.
and being such a incredible dynamic tool to be your opponent.
Yeah, for real. And on a last note, is there a personal note you would like to say to Second to None direct?
Well,
from you to them?
From Los Angeles to the UK, I want to actually say to Second to None that you guys definitely are pioneers, and you inspire many kids out here in Los Angeles, and I know that in the UK and throughout Europe, you guys put a name for yourselves. You guys became who you are, not because someone talked about you. No, you became who you are because you proved something to everybody else, and you made them believe that you were second to none. So I just want to thank you guys for doing that and giving us that inspiration, not only to the people out there in Europe, but giving me that inspiration back again to come back to Los Angeles to actually create what have I created in the past 15 years. You know what I'm saying? You guys gave me fire, and I want to thank you for for doing that and bringing that to the table. So therefore I was able to watch that battle, that battle that was talked throughout, I think maybe throughout the world, you know what I'm saying? So
I think that's true.
So I want to thank you for that, and good luck with this video, and hopefully next time I go to the UK, maybe we can hang out. I believe I probably met one of you guys out there when I was there, and hopefully I can come back next year, or hopefully very shortly, and we can have a session, a real old school powerful session. You know what I'm saying? So peace out, man. Lil Cesar from the Airforce Crew over here. We're on the archives of the Radiotron. Today it is December the 12th. We're doing a pre-party Radiotron showing all the history of 20 years that's been in the making, putting West Coast on the map, not just on the map, but actually bringing the whole West Coast together within our 7 elements and show people what we've done for the past 20 years, and actually before that as well, because there's more history besides that. So we're here. Radiotron is tomorrow. Hawaii versus Los Angeles, and it's gonna be such an incredible evening. Tomorrow, for the first time in history, Hawaii. I get to bring Hawaii out here to come and compete against Los Angeles, and we'll see what they have tomorrow. You'll see, you'll witness it, and stay tuned, because it's just the beginning.
What's up? Peace. My name is Bboy One. I represent Style Elements Crew, also Actual Force. What you hear in the background is a battle going on over there, at Radiotron here, 2003, Los Angeles, California. Well, all I can say is, I remember the first time, it was 1995. That was the first time I received a tape from Europe, which Thomas gave me from Blue Rose Battle of the Year, which is from a group called Burning Moon. And he sent me 3 tapes. And those 3 tapes had like a whole history of Europe, including London, France, Germany, all over those areas, all over Europe. And he sent me the Battle of the Year 92, 93, 94, 95, right there, and the 91, and then he sent me just practice and stuff. And I saw the Battle of the Year 92, and I was like, my jaw was to the floor. I was like, I was just like, what the fuck? I was speechless. Like now, I'm speechless. I go, this energy that they had. It was 2 crews in the finals. There was a 2-man crew, which was Battle Squad, which I was tripping out. That 2 guys can go against like 6 guys, Or how many guys you guys had? Like 6 guys, right?
Yeah.
But then the other side was Second to None, when Mauricio was rolling with Second to None. And then Always Rockin' Tough kind of united with them too, like a London all-star crew, all-star team. And I was like, look, this motherfucker's right here. What the fuck is happening right here? Every time somebody went out, I'm gonna tell you, every time somebody went out, no matter what side, I fucking rewinded the solo. Every single time. Every single time I rewind and watch over and over. And I was like, I gotta practice. I told my crew, I go, we gotta practice, bro, because we gotta go to Europe and we gotta battle. And if we don't practice, we're gonna get served, because these niggas are on another level, bro. I was like, when I showed that tape to to everybody, even Ivan, and reminding everybody, we were like, what the fuck? I go, we got hyped. We were like, yo, and then we found out the name was second to none, you know? We found out, you know, you start asking who they are, and who's this and who's that, and we found second to none, and you know, we were just memorized, bro. Asa with his triple halo, you know everybody got that from you, right? I'm gonna say that. You know, we got it from you. There's a lot that inspired us when also on that tape, there was a tape I guess Storm made called B-Boy, and it had a lot of you guys on there too. And you know, we were just, when I saw Tony do those pencil drills, like slow motion, and then I was just tripping out, you know? Yo, all I'm saying is, yo, checking on everybody that's watching, man, you guys, the energy you guys see me do now is the energy that I saw you guys do, you know, back then in those tapes. To tell you the truth, for me to practice now, I still watch those tapes. I still watch the tapes to get hyped because, you know, the new shit doesn't really get me hyped. You know, it's the older stuff, all the Europe stuff, Fresh 97 or 92, I think it was Fresh 92 actually when Second and None Battle Squad.
Battle of the Year.
Mauricio. It wasn't Battle of the Year, I think it was Fresh something, 92 or something like that. Storm put it on the tape. And,
CH Fresh.
Huh?
CH Fresh?
Something like that. UK Fresh or something Fresh. That it was 4 members from Battle Squad. Emilio Mauricio was Battle Squad at that time.
Yeah.
Swift.
Yeah, this is CH.
Storm versus Tony, I think.
Asa.
Swipe.
Asa.
No, the Swipe.
Daryl.
Not Asa, the other guy.
Daryl.
Good
Nick.
raps.
Nick.
Okay, yeah. Nick. Asa, the tall guy.
John.
Dave or
John.
Yeah, okay. Yo, that battle, I still watch it till this day. You know what? You can ask any of the new school guys here, like not new school, well, some of the new school, like Mosquito, the guys that you can tell that I break with a lot. When they go to my house, they always tell me, yo, put that old school footage on. And I always put on the Europe tape. And you know, to me, that's you can tell when they do the long sweeps and the footwork, the long 8-ball footwork and the sweeps and stuff, you can tell like, you know what's funny is we're doing stuff now that were on tapes. You know, when there was a guy named from Airforce called Hassan, and you'll see a lot of footwork that people are doing now that Storm's been doing, that Airforce been doing, that Second to None's been doing for years.
Yep.
You know, that is just coming out now.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, that's why it's important for you guys to come out with the tape and show what you guys done. And it's very important that people around the world know that without the Europe push, I don't think a lot of us here, like myself, I can speak for myself and my crew, we wouldn't have had such a motivation to go farther and farther with the dance, you know what I mean? Without that push. When we saw you guys, we were like, yo, we gotta go there and battle the best niggas from over there. That's how we were. We were like, we weren't ready at that time. 95, we were like, yo, we had our shit, but we couldn't compete with the tricks that were being done, the pound moves that were being done over there. We couldn't compete, so we were like 2 years later, Battle of the Year 97, we go. And that was the year everybody boycotted the Battle of the Year. All the dope niggas didn't enter. Like Enemy Squad, the Battle Squad, Flying Steps, Second and None, nobody entered. We battled against Southside Rockers, good crew, but we wanted to go against what we thought were the big guns.
The Kings.
The Kings, yeah, of Europe.
Yep.
And that's like I might say, we didn't really win, Battle of the Year because we didn't go against the big guns of Europe. And I'll be honest about that. We won, and yes, people saw a new style, and we started everybody to do this trick hand stuff, and we opened their minds a little bit. Thank God, that it worked for something. But at the same time, we really wanted to battle against Second to None, Flying Steps, Actual Force, everybody, because it would be an honor. Actually, it would be an honor to battle against who we thought were masters. And you guys were masters for us also.
Poe, do you have a personal message you want to say to Second to None Breakers?
I think I just said it, man.
I think you have, man. You put it down.
All I can say is much love, and every time I see you guys, I want to just hang out, man, because, okay, I think, you guys inspired me so much, I consider you guys, like, we've never really known each other, we know each other from breaking and stuff, but what's weird is I feel like I know you guys, I feel like I really know you guys, and I want to kick it, my home is your home. When you guys come here to LA, just come down, and you don't have to pay no fucking hotel. You come to my crib, I'll cook up a meal, man, and we'll go eat, we hang out, I take you around, because I know it will be done the same because it has happened, so it's like it's all family, man, and I know you guys, dearly, you guys have motivated me, man, and I just want to say, thank you to everybody for that, because, Second to None, I can't say anything because I'm getting sentimental, I'm gonna cry, for real. Second to None, peace, you guys in my heart, and no matter what, no matter how old we get and the injuries and stuff, nobody can do what we've done. Nobody can ever take that away from us. And good thing there's documentation of it. Let's have fun and just remember, just groove. Even if you just want to throw down, we don't gotta keep up with the new kids and all these crazy tricks. We don't. We just gotta have fun and hear the music and go out and show like Poe One in the house. Because we still got it. Every time we throw down, I'm gonna tell you, Second, don't ever lose your motivation when you're at a jam and feel pressured or something that you ain't going all out, or you can't hang with the new kids or whatever, because sometimes I feel that. But you know what I've learned? Is nobody can move like I do. And nobody can move like you guys do. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, every time you throw down, somebody there, that one of those people are going to learn something that night from an original school of yours, from London. You know what I'm saying? Just like I learned from you guys. So much love, Second to None, and I hope you guys do good in your DVD. And send me a fucking copy because I need to look at the old school footage that I haven't seen yet, that I know you guys are gonna put on there so I can get fucking motivated again and push even harder. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Much love.
Yo. Today's, let's go.
I'm Charles from Climax Soul Control, California. Just give a mad love to Second to None crew out in the UK.
Alright. That was Erik from Climax Soul Control. Just want to give shout outs to Second to None. One of the illest crews out there, y'all.
Word up.
Sleeping on them, man. They inspired me, they inspired a bunch of people. They're just really inspirational. Some people from the US have seen American videos. The best shit is the European videos, man. Second to None. Just all the people out there in Europe representing hardcore shit, you know what I mean? That's real B-Boy shit, inspirational.
Alright, and we got Kujo over in the corner. What's up, Kujo?
Kujo, Soul Control, Los Angeles, California. Once again, give a shout out to Second to None. Definitely one of the crews from early 90s Europe that inspired me to be as dynamic as I am with my dancing. That was my favorite era when crews like Second to None, Battle Squad, Enemy Squad, and all those groups were out there rocking it in the early to mid-90s. That was definitely my favorite era. It still is. I don't think today that's being done on the West Coast or anywhere in America really can surpass what I was seeing back then. And I'm trying to bring that flavor back now. Lately I've gone back to that particular era in breaking's history and actually made a whole lot of stuff. And put my own twist on it. I'm trying to keep that style alive because no one has any idea how good people were back in 94, 93, 92, even earlier, in Germany and in England and in Holland and in Italy and in that area in general. It was insane. And I'm disappointed that people from that area, don't get as much respect as they should. It's disappointing because that is, for me, that's just my highlight. That was what I saw. That was when I woke up and realized how amazing breaking could be. I was like, that's it. That's breaking right there. That's it. And now I'm trying to live up to that with my own dance.
Cool. Excellent, Kujo. Thanks, boy. What's up, Charles?
What was the guy with the double halos?
Asa.
Who?
Asa.
Asa?
Asa.
Thank you, Asa, for teaching me halos, and you're the first person I ever seen do halos and double halos, and I actually got my idea from you to do halos with no hands and the flares. So I want to give mad love to you and all your boys, all your family, and happy holidays. Yo, and just like Kujo said, mad love to Battle Squad, second to none. You guys did a lot for our crew. Help us innovate what we did, you know what I'm saying, for California and the world. Alright? Cool. Peace.
Peace. Any last words?
I definitely want to say thanks, man, from the heart for we were the UK champs. We battled Rocksteady. You know, no beef with Rocksteady, but second to none was the first ones to have our back. You know what I mean? It was like we were just beefing, and you know they had our back. They had their arms crossed, like fuck yeah, so control. You know what I mean? So big shout outs to them, man. Much love to them. Can't wait to practice with you guys, man. You know, go out there and learn some stuff off you guys, because you know that's shit. That's what I'm trying to go out for. You know, go learn from second to none. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Just can't wait to get to you guys, man, so we can just session and vibe out.
Wicked. It's on you, man.
Alright, this is B-Boy Easy Rock from the Rocksteady crew. I'm out here in Los Angeles. And I'm just going to go back a little bit in my memories going to Europe. I first journeyed out to Europe in about '92. And my impression of second to none at that point was incredible, because I got to meet a lot of different people and the word was out. You know, it was a lot of different crews, Battle Squad, second to none. It was like a lot of talk, and I'm like, okay, I need to see these people, you know. So actually, I think my best memory is probably like Battle of the Year, whichever year it was. I don't know, it was like '94 or something like that. But just seeing the crew and the way they hold it down as a unit was really impressive, because to this date, I don't think we've seen a crew in the States do that. I mean, there was always Rocksteady was always organized back in those days, but from the time I saw second to none, it was very organized, very crew, you know, minded. Everyone had each other's back. It was very collective. Everything looked good and it flowed good, and the style was just incredible. And not only on power alone, but like the finesse that was incorporated with it. And the routines were awesome. And I know they inspired a lot of people, you know, out here. And I hope they continue to inspire a lot of the dancers here in the States, because in my opinion, the routines are really foundation as well, and it's very important. And I hope that the crews here in the United States can learn from crews like Second to None and crews in Europe, and try to put themselves together and be tight as a unit, the same way they are tight as individuals. But that's just my recollection of the crew, Second to None. Keep doing your thing. It's good to know you're out there. Peace.